Go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's Cam and Sam, at you with the Council of Comics. We're gonna head in to watch The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Alexis is also here joining us. She is actually, funnily enough, watching the end of the last movie so you can be caught up on everything she needs to know for the prequel.
I kind of told like you don't really need to though. Because
You
it's
do though, because this movie explains why President Snow and the Capitol kind of are the way they are by the time we get to Katniss's story. So you do need to know what comes before, like what comes after, technically.
We shall see.
I said what I said. I'm the resident Hunger Games expert here, okay? I read all the books multiple times, including The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel. Anyway, I'm drinking coffee so I don't accidentally fall asleep.
Let's go.
The brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
We're gonna see if we have our infamous
I can't hear
chicken
you.
tender moment again.
I'm getting chicken nuggies. Vegan chicken nuggies. Wait.
What's good, Council of Comics? It's the very next day because we were too tired. The movie got out too late, so we're gonna do it right now.
It was like 3 hours almost.
Yes, it was. Great movie.
Excellent.
You know, not being the super Hunger Games person, I was very, how do you say, enthralled through the whole movie. I was like,
Yes.
this is a good movie.
And in my opinion, they did a good job of including everything that they could from the book in the movie. A lot of the times things get left out, but I think they did a great job. Like there wasn't anything major that I think from the book didn't make it onto screen. So I think that was excellent.
Okay, so the movie starts off 3 years before the first Hunger Games.
3 years
Yeah.
before the first Hunger Games?
Am I right?
Oh, actually, yes, you are.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Wait. Try that again because I messed it up.
we don't pause and restart. This is
No,
all
I know.
automatic.
I'm saying like, take two.
Go ahead.
No, you say it.
Oh, so the movie starts off 3 years before the first Hunger Games during the war, you know, quote, quote, the war that they had.
Why are you doing quotes? They
Because
really
we've
did have
never
a
seen
war.
the war and we don't know, we're not taking sides and all this. We don't know what the heck's going on.
But you don't have to take sides to say that there actually was a war. That is fact. There was a war.
Okay. But it's Snow as a kid with his cousin Tigress. They're looking for bread. They happen to witness some guy chopping off legs because he's hungry. And that's
The
only
legs
a little,
of humans.
Yeah.
I feel like you should state that.
They only show a little bit of it. It's only like a couple minutes. And then immediately he's older Snow. Mid-20s? 20s?
I don't know. In the books, I got the vibe that they were supposed to be like graduating high school. But nobody in that movie looked like they were graduating high school. They all looked so much older, so I don't know.
college type stuff.
My thing is, it can't be older than that because the Reaping, Lucy Gray, has to be max 18 because you stop
right.
getting reaped at 18.
Yeah.
So I think they are supposed to be high schoolers, but nobody looked like they were in high school. She's still watching the end of the movie.
So you guys said you kind of liked us doing this, so this is what we're going to do. As we enter the theater. We've had 9 Hunger Games so far, and this is going to be the 10th one. And then they introduce Highbottom, who's played by Peter Dinklage.
Love him.
And he is one of the creators of the Hunger Games. And he's like a drunk and all that. He's a really, sad type person. But they're introduced also the head game maker, which is Gaul. Is that what
Gaul.
Gaul, played by
Viola Davis.
Put
some respect on
she
her
played
name.
it so good. I'm so sorry. She plays the head, and they introduced a new thing where now the mentors, each one of the tributes gets a mentor.
Yeah, so the 10th Hunger Games was the first Hunger Games that they introduced aspects like mentors, because the whole reason why the Hunger Games became the way they are is because during the 10th Hunger Games, people were not watching. People were not interested. And I think it actually goes to show the semi-decency that was still around even in the Capitol, that viewership was so low that no one was interested watching, you know, kids kill other kids. Like, no one wanted to see that. The war wasn't that long ago. Nobody was interested in it. And the whole point of introducing the students into the creation of the games that year was to try to get viewership up, which resulted in the introduction of mentors. But instead of what we see in Katniss' Hunger Games, where it's the victors are mentors, at this point they introduced Capitol students that are in their last year as mentors.
Top students.
Top students, yes. They're competing for the Plinth Prize, which is a prize money scholarship to get to the university in the Capitol.
And other money, too. Like, because he's going to use that to pay the rent and all that other stuff.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of money involved. So they have their reaping, right? And then Snow, Coriolanus Snow gets Lucy Gray picked as his tribute.
Now, it's established from the beginning that Dean Casca Highbottom, the creator of the Hunger Games, does not like Coriolanus Snow. We don't know why at the start of the movie. I know why, because I read the book. We don't know why at the start of the story he doesn't like him. It is explained later, but it is very clear that he is not on his good list. Therefore, he ends up with the runt of the litter, the girl tribute from District 12.
Right. Who, you know, because we're going through it, you eventually learn is the one who wrote all the songs
Yes.
that Katniss sings.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
All the songs we hear Katniss sing in the Hunger Games series, like Deep in the Meadow and The Hanging Tree, and there's another one that I'm blanking on right now. I don't know why. But all the songs we hear her sing in the first series of movies, or she sings in the first series of books, were actually written by Lucy Gray Baird.
Yeah. This is what I did with. She's playing air drum.
Do you want me to put your straw in your drink for you?
Please. Pretty please.
Got you. What you do is you peel it like this,
Yeah. Exactly.
and you do that.
Oh, lovely.
So that you don't touch the straw with your hands because you've had germs.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
I usually mix mine.
What are you doing?
Can I give you a suggestion? I left the straw on, so you want me to do it for you? Un momento, por favor. Mom says, I know we're all the way over here. Mom says she doesn't like the ending of the movie, of the Mockingjay, part 2. She doesn't like the ending. Don't come all the way over here because you're leaving your drink unattended. Never do that. If you were a woman, you'd know that. Yeah, I was gonna say if you were a woman, you'd know
got
that.
eyes on it.
Anyway, there's juice dripping on my hand. But Mom says she does not like the ending of the conclusion of the Hunger Games series, the first one. So let's see why. What would you have rathered happen?
I don't like the fact that she ended up with Peter. I don't think she ever really loved Peter. I think they trauma bonded.
You think she should have ended up with Gale?
Not necessarily, but I don't think she should have ended up with Peter.
In my opinion, Gale is the villain. The entire internet will agree.
Okay.
Anyway, I personally, when I read it, I agreed. I thought she shouldn't have ended up with either of them.
Right. And I agree.
Yeah. Also, I would like to know more about what her mother went on to do. You know how she had the apothecary. She's like a nurse. I would like to know what she did because I know she's in 8. Yeah, she's in 8. She went to district. Oh, they don't tell you this. Her mom went to District 8 or something to help with the wounded and be a nurse and stuff or a doctor over there because she grew up and her family had an apothecary in town. That's how she knew how to treat Gale when he got whipped and all that, which is what she was training Prim to do as well. I would like to know more about that, but I agree. I don't like the ending either.
It's almost as if, okay, you know what? We're tired of this story. We need to wrap this up with a pretty little bow and end it.
Are you do you think that Katniss is at peace? Finally?
No, I think she's a rebel at heart, so she's looking for trouble.
I agree. She doesn't have anybody to dissent against. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay. Just write sequels.
Well, I mean, I would read it.
I'd read it too, and I'm not convinced that the story's over.
It doesn't.
I
It
told
seems
you,
like there's
didn't
more
I told
because
you that.
what does Panem look like now that
Right.
President Snow is dead and down with the? Well, it wasn't really a president.
And I said there were more
democracy.
what's outside of all this.
And
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not convinced we aren't Mandela affected because I just knew somehow or another she had slipped Snow poison berries. I just knew it. I legit thought that that's how he
No.
went out, and I would have preferred to see him go out with her slipping
would
him
have
poison
been
berries than
Justice, right? For her and Seneca Crane, because they allude to kind of to it in the movies, but they made Seneca Crane either choose
it was very clear that
suicide by
yes.
poison berries or
It was very clear that he made him eat the poison berries. That's
Yeah.
how he went out, and I think they missed his opportunity. Missed, Suzanne. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, I agree. You heard it here, Suzanne, from the mouth of Alexis Carrington herself, not to be confused with Alexis Carrington from Dynasty. That happens a lot. I know that's an old lady reference.
And the rapper from LA.
Oh, food. That's us. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So, and a lot of things that you learn, like, remember in the Hunger Games where they would send them these donations and stuff? We learned that Snow was the first one to put together a proposal for these new things because he realized that people aren't watching the games because they don't have a connection with the tributes. So he comes up with all these proposals, and it's the stuff like giving them water and giving them food, and they have to work to get their donations.
Yes, basically he developed the idea of sponsorships for the tributes. And I don't know if this was his specific suggestion, but also getting them more screen time so the audience can see them and get to know them better and develop feelings for the tribute so that they would feel more inclined to help and be active in sponsorships and such.
Yeah. So he does some stuff like when they bring the tributes to the zoo,
which was horrific.
Yeah, he decides to join in with his tribute, and it's this big, it's a big media thing. We get introduced to Flickerman's ancestor.
Yes, Lucky Flickerman. That was excellent casting.
Yeah.
He looked just like Stanley Tucci, and I don't know if that was makeup or the actor really does look like him, but he looked a lot like him. The mannerisms, the way he acted, definitely that was excellent casting.
Yeah, and he becomes the first host of the Hunger Games
ever. He was a weatherman before that.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Caesar Flickerman was a nepo baby? Everybody saw it coming. Everyone.
And the drones that they send all the stuff with is very low budget grade. Like it could kill you literally if they send it to you.
Yeah.
Because it's like this mechanical machine that just flies at you.
It's kind of like a drone, but like a drone with exposed propellers.
Yeah. So Snow's job is basically, he wants to win the Plinth Prize, but then it's revealed that Highbottom is going to make sure that he never wins the Plinth Prize. So now he's more focused on Lucy Gray winning the whole Hunger Game type thing. So
we have failed to mention that throughout the war and the years after, the Snow family has never recovered. The Snow, his father died in the war in District 12 from a rebel ambush. His mother died in childbirth, giving birth to what would have been his little sister. So he is essentially an orphan living with his grandmother, he calls Grandmam, and his cousin, Tigress, and they have never fully recovered. They live in this extravagant penthouse apartment in the capital that they cannot afford, and they're on the verge of eviction, which is why he needs to win the Plinth Prize and the money to help his tribute win the games. So there's something in it for him
and they
as well.
show little bits. I guess there were jewels in the walls because he's looking at the walls and he sees the jewels missing. Like he knows they took them to Hawkham or something to get money for them.
No, Tigress took them. It's the Tesserae.
Oh.
It's like I guess essentially it's valuable, but she uses them to make the buttons on his shirt that she makes him.
Oh, okay. Okay. So just to speed through, they show the Hunger Games. Very, very, how can I say, primitive, these Hunger Games. But eventually, because we don't want to spoil everything for you guys, eventually Lucy Gray wins the Hunger Game. So, but they find out that Snow helped her win the Hunger Games, so he's caught cheating, which makes Highbottom very, very happy.
Now, I feel like we should explain that just him mentoring her was not what got him, in trouble and what was deemed cheating. It was he slipped her a compact with rat poison in it so that she could potentially poison her enemies. And he also knew that Professor Gall was going to introduce, the head game maker, was going to introduce a huge containers of snakes into the arena, and he also knew that those snakes would not attack if they were familiar with your scent. So he slipped something into the snake tank that had Lucy Gray's scent so that they wouldn't attack her and she would survive.
But it flips because she starts singing once the snakes attack her, and so Snow is like, oh, this is my moment to not get caught cheating. She's like, it's because they're singing.
Yeah, her singing calms them. or
Singing
something,
calms
yeah.
them.
So crazy, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's juice on my hand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I gotta catch it.
Wait,
All right.
Let's go. Going in. We're going in. Theater 16?
Have to walk down the stairs.
They're doing the musical version.
What do you, am I not supposed to walk down this?
For some reason, when I look down at yeah, it's like an optical illusion, and my brain's like fell face first, so I have to go down the stairs.
Down.
That would have been perfect. I said Ty, and she goes lame. Frankenstein.
Lisa Frankenstein.
Wait, I don't get it.
Lisa Frank, the stickers.
Oh. Wait, I should have gotten that because
You should have.
It wasn't that. So he gets demoted, and he has to become a peacekeeper because he's being exiled. They want to send him to District 8, and he's like, nah, here's some money, send me to District 12.
his last
money.
of his money.
Because he knows Lucy Gray could be in District 12, and he wants to see her again.
And at this point, he doesn't know whether or not they've killed her. He
Right.
thinks the Capitol might have killed her after her games. He doesn't know. He really is going there to find out, one, if she's alive, and two, to potentially be with her.
Right. And she's alive!
She's alive and singing.
And he finds her, and then
Tubby.
just some things happen, and then the end of the movie is like, it was sad to me, because the love that was growing between Lucy Gray and Snow, just off of some paranoia, I think on both sides.
You're jumping way ahead.
Yeah, because I want them to watch the movie. I don't want them to.
We already spoiled so much.
I
You
know,
have
but
some
still, there's
creative
other
editing.
things. Yeah.
This is definitely a spoiler review and spoiler.
Because I don't want to talk too much about it, and I want to
Yeah.
give our thoughts at the end. But a little paranoia on both sides leads to them separating, and Snow eventually coming back to the Capitol. And they put him in a place where he's going to learn from the game maker now, Viola Davis.
There are a lot of aspects of the story that could potentially either be ambiguous or up for interpretation. So there are going to be a million different theories, ideas of what really happened or happens, which I think makes it a very interesting topic to discuss.
Yeah, I think there could be multiple sequels that come out of this.
I would watch them. I would read them. I would read them and then I would watch them.
You told me the very next one, the 11th Hunger Game is
Mags' Hunger Games.
And Mags is...
I believe that's correct. Mags is the older woman who volunteers for Annie Cresta in the... Why am I blanking?
74?
No, it's a Quarter Club. And Catching Fire. I couldn't think of the name of the movie.
So there could be multiple, because now you can see the life of Snow as a game maker.
Yes, which I think would be very interesting.
It'd be very interesting. So overall, to me, it's my favorite Hunger Games movie. I like it better than the Katniss movies, which are still good, but I was very impressed. It gave a good backstory. We love a good backstory. And it really fits in with all the Hunger Games movies. So I give it a 9.
I think it was... Were you about to turn it off?
No, I'm about to hold this.
Oh. I think it was excellent. I think the casting was excellent. All the actors did a phenomenal job. I don't know. It's weird because I have nostalgia from childhood for the original series, so I don't know if I would say it was better, but I did thoroughly enjoy it, and I wasn't upset about the film adaptation of the book. Usually I'm very upset that they left certain things out, certain characters out, but I think they did a really good job trying to stay true to the original source material. So I would also give it a 9, maybe 9.5.
Yeah.
My generation is Dora the Explorer.
60.
This is the right one, right?
Yes.
Some will turn your old Honda
Oh, we are right next to each other.
into a brand new Honda. That's because we are a company of
Who wants to be on?
setting
Okay,
out to be carbon
me in the middle.
Oh, this is wonderful.
neutral. So
Yeah, right?
Good job.
I did good. I did good.
you better believe
Just sit maybe on my lap since I'm in the middle.
All right, so we're about to watch the movie. See you guys later.
Are we doing predictions or theories, or is that going to be another video?
If you want to do it real quick. Go ahead.
Real quick, I think Katniss is descended from not Lucy Greybeard, which some people were thinking. I think she's descended from Maude Ivory, Lucy Greybeard's cousin in the Covey, because Katniss is the only one who knows about the lake and the cabin in the story. In her timeline, she's the only one who really knows about it because her dad knew about it and his parents knew about it. So that sounds like a very Covey thing, which means Katniss may not originally be from District 12. Genetically. Obviously, she lived there her whole life. I had more, but I don't really remember them.
I think, like I said with the sequels, I think that remember High Bottom says a line like, mysteries can have one turn into madness, because he doesn't know, Snow doesn't know if Lucy Gray is dead at the end of the movie or not. And then even they take a line, that's the very last line of the movie with the old Snow.
Yes, Donald Sutherland's voice comes over. We're not going to tell you what he says, which line he says, because that's a powerful moment, but he is a
It kind of links everything, like, I
mean, it was already linked, but I also think part of the reason why he is so, and he does a good job of masking it as an adult, but he is so ultra paranoid throughout the entire series for Katniss, and it's probably because he could know that at any moment Lucy Greybeard could come out the woodwork and make his entire world crumble around him.
Very true.
Because his presidency, his throne, his life was built on murder, lies, and betrayal, and treason. Treason. He committed treason on multiple occasions to the capital he swore to protect.
But you feel for him. I felt for him through the whole movie.
Up until,
until he had his Anakin moment.
It was hard for me to feel for him because I know what he becomes, and I feel like regardless of traumas definitely do have an effect on you, but he had multiple opportunities to make the right choice and didn't. So I feel for you, but also and you know what's interesting in this one? Katniss had a love triangle. Lucy Greybeard did not.
No.
Also, this was not really her story, though, in my opinion. It was, but it wasn't. It's really Snow's story, which the ambiguous ending could potentially lead. You could learn more about Lucy Gray's potential life after.
Lucy Gray could be alive after the Katniss game.
Lucy Gray could be Alma Coin. Someone suggested that. I'm like, she's not nearly old enough.
No.
Not nearly old enough. She'd be like 75, 80.
After where they find her in the northern country, wherever they're looking.
I think she was.
I'm Lucy Gray, and she could be old.
They mentioned that they're gonna go north and hide because there's a safe space for them to hide. Travel north. Lucy Gray says that, and the Covey also says that. So people from the Covey. I think they were headed to District 13, and they just didn't really know it yet, or they didn't say it.
Interesting.
There are a lot of parallels. I could go on all day. I have more to say, but this is not supposed to be an in-depth analysis of the Hunger Games. Maybe I'll do that.
All right. Well, great movie.
Excellent.
I think you should go see it, especially if you're a Hunger Game fan.
100%. Get the box office numbers up.
I really love this movie. Kamaria really loved this movie.
Rachel Zegler was excellent as Lucy Greybeard. Her voice is stunning.
Excellent. So, yeah. So, we encourage you guys to go check it out. All right. So, for myself, for Kamaria, and the rest of the Council of Comics, we thank you, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Peace.
Are you?
We
can't clear that sample.
The brightest day. Where are the heroes?